Hi, I'm the Smoking Elk, and today we're going to be spinning some chickens and drinking some beer in honour of Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest, you'll find beer halls up and down the country in Germany. They're eating loads, they're drinking loads. It looks absolutely fantastic, and I really need to get myself over to an Oktoberfest. So one of the dishes that you'll find up and down those beer halls is rotisserie chicken, spit roast chicken. So that is what I'm going to attempt to recreate today. Now you'll find that they have a nice simple marinade on of some paprika, garlic powder, a bit of salt and pepper, some chilli flakes in some oil. So I'm going to knock that up and we're going to brush these on the chickens. Now I'm going to attempt to feed 3 of these onto the rotisserie, and we're going to be cooking them in the Masterbuilt 800. Now I've got this up to the temperature I want to cook at. We're sat at about 400 Fahrenheit, which is about 200 Celsius. We've loaded it up with some big block charcoal, so the fire's lit, we've got the fire lit, loaded it up, we've set it at 400, and we're going to spin these chickens on the rotisserie, but I'm going to sit underneath, I'm going to sit a couple of pans with some potatoes, so we're going to get the roast potatoes. The chicken is going to drip into those roast potatoes. Oh, it's going to be glorious. The first thing we need to do is just knock up a really quick, simple marinade, so I'm just going to set those chickens to one side, bring our bowl over, and first thing we're going to do is to start with some paprika. So I'm going to go in with about 3 tablespoons of paprika, so just get those into the bowl. We want some garlic powder in there, so I'm going to go in with about a tablespoon of garlic powder. Want some salt and pepper, so don't be shy with this stuff. Go in with a good teaspoon or so of salt. Pepper, you want about half a teaspoon to 3/4 of a teaspoon, I say, so don't be shy with this either. And just to give it a little tiny bit of a kick, I'm going to go in with some chilli flakes. So in they go, probably about 1/4 teaspoon, half a teaspoon. And then of course, to bring it all together, turn it into a marinade. I'm going to go in with about 4, maybe 5 tablespoons of oil. I'm using rapeseed oil there, you can use olive oil, whatever oil you have to hand. And I'm just going to take a spoon and just give that stir until that turns into a nice consistency that we can start brushing on those chickens as they start to cook. So to start with the chickens, I'm just going to season them up with some salt and pepper, and then we're going to start brushing this stuff on as they cook. Now, I don't know how long they're going to take. I don't care how long they're going to take, because I'm going to be drinking a few of these while we're waiting for them to spin. I'll know when they're done because I'm going to use my Thermapen. Now, if you don't have a Thermapen, seriously, get yourself one, because if you're drinking, like I'm going to be here, you want to make sure that your chicken is safe to eat. Now, chicken is safe to eat at 73 degrees, so if you've got yourself one of these, all you've got to do is insert it into the thickest part of the breast. Once that hits 73 degrees, you know your chicken is safe to eat. Now, why take the risk when you're sinking a few beverages? It's just not worth it, is it? So, let's get these seasoned up, get them fed onto the spit, and get them into the Masterbuilt. Oh, so the chickens are in. I've just finished my beer. I need to pour myself another one, but fear not, this has an app, so I'm going to keep an eye on the temperature from the app while I sink a few of these. I'll see you again when these chickens are done. There we go, Oktoberfest. I do love this time of year. I've sunk many a beer, and all the while the chickens have been spinning. Confession to make, I did promise you potatoes under the chicken with a Start that again. Potatoes dripping under the chicken. The chicken. We've had many beers. I do love Oktoberfest. I love this time of year because you get to have many beers while you're cooking. Now, confession to make, because I've had many beers, I promise you potatoes, I promise you the chicken dripping over the potatoes, and I completely forgot. So the missus has knocked these up in the kitchen, and what a fine job she's done with these. So we're going to stick some salt on these. These chickens, as you saw, we've been basting with that paprika, garlic powder, salt, pepper and oil with a little bit of chilli on there. So they are cooked perfectly. I know they're cooked perfectly because even though I've had a few beers, get yourself one of these, a Thermapen, and whether you've had beers or not, this will make sure that you're not going to poison anyone and make sure you're not going to get dry chicken. So we've cooked them to 73, 74 degrees with my Thermapen 1. So that's absolutely nailed it for me. And like I said, what a great job the Rotisserie has done on the Masterbuilt 800. We've got a bit of cherry smoke on these chickens. I mean, they're juicy. They've got a lot of colour on them. We're going to put a bit of salt on these potatoes. We are done. So on the smoking elk, that was my Oktoberfest cook. That was my Oktoberfest cook. Shit. On the smoking elk, that was my Oktoberfest cook. I do hope you'll give it a go, and I'll see you again soon.